Yo, who was this that ran you off you walked out of meeting interview with? No, everybody keep telling me this shit.
I can't believe that the person who finally is asking me about this is you.
I don't give a f. Like, it's why, look, one thing about Adam doesn't give a f about asking me something, and I don't give a f about asking him something.
I don't mind.
First of all, we both know we gonna answer it. I don't know no details, but like, yo, Wack, Adam been ducking. He got ran off an interview. I said, Adam ain't been ran off.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
What the f happened?
So there's a guy, a conservative commentator named Charlie Kirk. And he's like
white or black?
White.
Okay.
And so he's like very, very well known in the conservative movement, super hardcore conservative Republican, doesn't f with abortion, doesn't whatever. And like they told me, because there's a podcast in Santa Barbara called the Whatever Podcast, and they basically do like a lot of sort of dating type stuff / like political stuff. They have people kind of arguing about topics on there or whatever. But the gist of it is that it's basically like a couple dudes and then like 10 girls. And mostly the girls will be like OnlyFans chicks, but then a couple of them will be conservative girls, whatever. And so they asked me to come up, to drive up to Santa Barbara, which, as you know, is like an hour and a half drive, to do a debate with this guy, Charlie Kirk, about abortion. Or no, excuse me, about like he basically thinks porn should be illegal. And so I was going to be
illegal.
This is a hardcore conservative Christian guy. So I respect Charlie Kirk.
But Christian women are the freakiest women out of all the religions.
They're in denial about
Shout out Ja Rule.
Right. But anyway, so
let's go.
I drove up there to do that debate. And this guy is completely on the opposite side of where I'm at politically, but seems like a respectful guy. I show up 5 minutes before I get there. I see a text from the host telling me that Charlie Kirk pulled out. So this is a little weird to me because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, so this stream's supposed to start at 5 o'clock. You're texting me at 4:55 telling me the homie pulled out. That's kind of weird because this is a professional-ass dude that does this for a living. If he's pulling out on you, pause. I'm assuming that he told you like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours ago, maybe the day before, but you still wanted to have me on the show, so you didn't tell me until the very last second, right? So I walk up to the venue where they do the Whatever Podcast, and I'm down there. It's a shit of girls, and most of them are girls. They're OnlyFans girls. So they're all talking to me, sparking conversations. They're talking about the baby. They're talking about my girl, yada, yada. So I'm having this whole conversation with them. And then I see this dude walking up. And this is a dude that I only know of him because basically he had like beefed with Destiny and academics. And he's like a red pill guy, right?
Destiny. That's hard.
The blue-haired guy that you became friends with on here. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So this guy had beef with academics and Destiny, right? And after he beefed with them, I made fun of him on this podcast because, Flacco interviewed him as well. And so I made fun of him on this podcast. And then after that, he made a shit of videos talking about me. Now, I never seen him or anything, but I remember always seeing these thumbnails and realizing like, oh, this guy is like basically trying to fucking talk about me to get some clout or whatever.
One of those, okay.
One of them. So I'm standing outside the podcast talking to these girls, and this dude walks up. And like, he's like here on me, he's like a little tiny mother or whatever. And he says right away, he's like, damn, it's crazy to see you here. Like, do we need to fight? And I was
you
like,
had your security with you?
No, because
you learned something.
I'm up I need security for this guy.
Everywhere you go, Adam.
I could rear naked choke him. Like I could rear naked choke him and 20 of his friends at the same time. It's not even.
Why are you talking about choking him naked? But
I'm just saying, this is not like the kind of guy you need security for.
Okay.
Anyway. He says, do we need to fight? All I think in my head is like, no. Like, why do I need to fight you? Like, I know you made videos about me, but a lot of people make videos about me. I'm not thinking about like, I'm not angry at you like I want to fight you, right? I sit down to do the interview. And it's kind of weird because one of the things about this dude is that he's a scammer. Like, he scammed his own fans. He did like a crazy NFT scam. Everything that he says about himself is like totally made up. Like, he has not had any kind of business success. He has like no money. He's just like, everything about him is kind of like a facade in order to try to like build this idea of him being the successful dude or whatever. And we started doing the podcast, and I only lasted like 40 minutes, and he keeps like taking shots at me in the conversation. And my whole thing is like, I'm starting to like realize how bad I f***ed up as I sit there, because this guy knows so much about me. I know nothing about him besides the fact that he's like a scammer.
So you needed Beast with you that day.
I just needed like to not be in this situation.
You need to be Switty.
And this is the other thing that he's doing is that he's kind of like, he's dissing all the girls over and over. He's just dissing everybody at the table. But meanwhile, he's a total loser, but the girls don't know that. They're just like kind of going along with it and kind of acting like he's got like some sort of high ground to be on where he gets to diss them. And after like a half hour of it, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of here because it was just like,
the problem, Adam, listen.
But okay, I had two options in my head.
Adam, bro,
I was thinking about throwing my drink in his face and jumping over the table and attacking him. I weighed that in my head for like 3 or 4 minutes, and then I was like, exactly. And then I was just like, you know what? I have nothing to gain from that. What I thought about doing was doing the fake walkout, where I was gonna say like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom, and then just dip out.
That would have worked.
But then instead, I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. But then, like, everybody makes videos about this being like, "Oh, Adam walked out."
Adam,
it was just you
up.
It was
you got packed up, Adam.
I did not get packed up.
Who is this? We got to put him in the title on Clubhouse. Who is this? You got his name?
I don't know his name, but
I don't even know.
Yeah, we don't know his name. Nobody knows.
None of the
Nobody
OnlyFans
has
girl?
ever known his name. No.
So you don't know the OnlyFans girl that was there? How about the host?
I followed a couple of the girls.
The host over there. No, we can't let it ride.
Oh well, that's Brian.
Come on, bro.
You feel like the whatever podcast set you up though? Like they knew y'all had beef?
I actually don't, because I don't think that Brian was paying close enough attention to realize that this was somebody that I had an issue with, even though when you actually look at it with them like pulling the other host at the last possible second and then having this weird internet troll guy who's obsessed with me, it does like look like they set me up, right? But I kind of don't think that Brian was like thinking on that level. And also he hit me up so many times, making it clear that it was a big accident and misunderstanding, that he did not want to put me in that situation or whatever, that I kind of believed him. That being said, I don't really think that like that kind of podcast is necessarily like the environment that I should be putting myself into at this point, because
so what's the dude name podcast?
It's called Whatever. You want to go up there?
Who's the host?
I would almost maybe go with you. It's like a white guy named Brian. It's like the least.
We need to go back.
The least street podcast you've ever seen in your life.
Go back.
You want me and you to go?
Yeah, just have him sit there and let's troll the out of him.
Just make him sweat. But see, that's part of the problem, is that he gets trolled on this podcast all the time, because now they have all these OnlyFans girls showing up to troll him. They show up and they do weird personalities and like crazy shit to try to get to try to go viral. Yeah,
I'm gonna bring all my homies who ain't been to the dentist in 18 years.
I don't think he's like down to have a bunch of gangsters on the podcast. To be honest,
like you didn't know it was coming. He don't got to know it's coming. They're not gonna do nothing. They're just gonna stare at it.
I'll tell you this. This is my final word, and it's a good transition to our next topic. I was talking to Academics about it right afterwards, because he hates this fucking guy too, and Academics' response to me was, bro, you're crazy. Why would you put yourself in an environment like that where you've got this dude who can only go up from here, because he's like ground level as a content creator. Like he can come up off of dissing you. Whereas, like, even if you completely dunk on this dude, even if it's not going to do anything for you.
Academics, take your own advice, because I told you that about a few people associated to Adam.
That's true. Maybe he got that advice from
you. Keep on doing it. And on top of that,
as soon as Academics said that to me via text, I was just like, fuck.
Should have took whack with you.
I wish that I had thought of that before I sat down with this guy.
Whack with you.
But, you know, Alex got some good wisdom once in a while. I got to give it to him.
No, definitely.